All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing out there? NBA All-Star starters for 2019 have been announced. You already know I gotta chime in, not only give you guys the announcement, but also give you guys my reserve predictions. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun here on my platform. Now I'm doing a couple things here. If you're on my Ferro React Sports channel, you're getting this content, you're used to stuff like this, I thank y'all for the love. If you're getting it on my main channel, it's Mr. TALIAFERRO, which is solely a hip-hop based platform. I know you like, what does he got going on? But I just want y'all to give me a shot. Like, look at this as a test run video, right? If you rock with the content, I got my beautiful green screen in the back of me that's providing some beautiful visuals for you guys. If y'all rock with what I'm doing, please head over to this YouTube, Ferro Reacts. It's the name of the YouTube where I do strictly sports and NBA 2K content. If you're into stuff like this, you want more of it from your boy, if you don't think you get enough TALIAFERRO, then head over to this platform and subscribe right now. Again, I want to congratulate these 10 guys for being named NBA All-Star starters. And by the way, if you're on my hip-hop channel, you're going to see quickly, I really know my stuff in basketball, all right? So, I want to start in the Eastern Conference. We'll start with the forwards and make our way down, all right? So, for the forwards in the Eastern Conference, I don't got a drum roll, but I want to send up a congratulations to the Toronto Raptors forward, Kawhi Leonard. As we all know, Kawhi spent his entire career in the Western Conference, was traded this summer from the San Antonio Spurs for DeMar DeRozan to the Toronto Raptors. So he will be making his first start in the Eastern Conference. Congratulations to Kawhi Leonard. I thought Kawhi Leonard deserved a nod. There's not a lot of great forwards in the East. Honest to God truth, Jimmy Butler got to the Eastern Conference late. I'm fine with Kawhi being one of the starting forwards. His team is really, really good. They're number 2 in the Eastern Conference right now. He's putting on a show when he's playing. The only thing I had with Kawhi is he's missed a crap ton of games. Matter of fact, I think he's missed like the last 3 or 4 games as I speak. But again, when he's on that court, he's a great two-way player, elite offensively and elite defensively. I'm fine with Kawhi Leonard gracing Charlotte, North Carolina. By the way, I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina for the NBA All-Star festivities this year. Now, second forward that made the All-Star cut and the leading vote getter for the Eastern Conference is the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Oh, does he deserve this? Averaging 26 and 12. Now, you heard me say that, 26 and 12. He don't even got a jump shot yet, and he's still putting up 26 points. Somehow, some way, this dude is dominating inside like Shaq, but he starts his game on the perimeter most plays. Phenomenal. He's the captain of the Eastern Conference. He's going ahead against the Western Conference captain that I'll get to in a second. Yeah, Giannis has his team number 1 in the East. This season, from an Eastern Conference perspective, I know they kind of been under the rug because they're Milwaukee. But yeah, this season has been controlled by Giannis. He's been playing some dominating basketball in the Eastern Conference. He deserves to be captain. Congratulations to him. If he was an American-born player, we'd be considering him like in the same class of LeBron, right? If you really think about it, he has his team further at this point in his career. Giannis is only like 23, 24 than what LeBron had the Cleveland Cavaliers at this point in his career. Give that man his credit, leading vote getter in the Eastern Conference, and he will be joined last 4 position in the East. It's going to go to Joel Embiid. Congratulations to Joel Embiid, Philadelphia 76ers. A lot of people say he is the best player in the Eastern Conference. It's tit for tat. Joel Embiid is a beast on the block. Sometimes he can even take it to the perimeter. What I like about Joel Embiid is he can single-handedly change a game on the defensive side of the court. So I got to give Joel Embiid some respect. Philadelphia, a top 4 seed in the East. They've had so a lot of change in their roster, but Joel Embiid he's been healthy. He's been on the court this year. We ain't worried about no injuries. I know he got some back problems, but he didn't play through it, and he deserves to be an all-star starter. Let's swing over to the guards now in the Eastern Conference. So let's get the one that we already knew out the way. Kyrie Irving, congratulations to the Boston Celtics guard. He is one of the guards for the Eastern Conference All-Star team. Now, the second spot was up in the air. Remember, fans had 50% of the vote. And because this is Dwayne Wade's last season, a lot of fans voted Dwayne Wade in the game. Again, it's only 50% of the vote. The other 50% went to the players and the media. All right? All due respect to Dwayne Wade, he ain't no Michael Jordan. I love Dwayne Wade throughout his career. One of my favorites to watch, actually. He doesn't deserve the Michael Jordan treatment in his last season, the Kobe treatment in his last... No. All right? All due respect. But Dwayne Wade did not deserve to be a starter. As a matter of fact, he took pretty much a month off. God bless him, because him and his wife, Gabrielle Union, they had a surrogate child. But, nah, he don't need to be on that all-star stage. So, once the fan 50% vote got out of the way, the starting guard, and here's the shock in the Eastern Conference, will go to the hometown kid, or at least the home team kid, right? Kemba Walker. The game is in Charlotte, and he's going to be the starting point guard in Charlotte. That might be my early MVP for the game prediction. Again, most times when it's in your city, those guys try to go after that All-Star Game MVP heavy. Kemba Walker's a master with the basketball. He's having a great season. His team is not. But Kemba Walker's doing his part, man. So we got Kemba and Kyrie in the backcourt for the Eastern Conference. At forward, you got Kawhi, Joel Embiid, and again, their leading vote getter is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Again, remember, all these guys are going to get drafted by Giannis and this guy. Let's swing over to the Western Conference. The leading vote getter overall, again, for another year, LeBron James, out due to injury right now. He's missed a month. As I make this video, it's been a month. He got injured on Christmas Day. It's January 25th. He's been out a month. He's missed 15 games. A lot of people are on the fence about voting him in. But here's the thing with LeBron. All he needed was either the players or the media to vote him in, right? Because the fans already gave him their 50%. He was the leading vote getter. All it took was either the players or the media to give him their 25%, and he got it, all right? So he's going to be the captain of the Western Conference team. I'm actually going to leave the forwards alone because we got a little controversy at the end. So I'm going to go over to the guards because it was pretty predictable. At point guard, we got Steph Curry. Steph Curry is lighting the league up. He missed about a month as well. He missed about 3 weeks with a growing injury of his own. But since he's come back, he's playing phenomenal basketball. The Warriors have won 8 straight games. They're great. They've got it together. They're #1 in the Western Conference. He's the most important player on that Golden State Warriors team. No disrespect to Kevin Durant. Yeah, Steph Curry deserves that nod. His team is great, and he's the MVP of that team. At the other guard position, this guy's playing better basketball than anybody in the league right now. James Harden. Last game I watched James Harden in Madison Square Garden, he put up 61. Enough said. I think in the last month, he's put up 56, 57, or it might be 57, 58. The dude is on a scoring tear. He's been without Chris Paul for most of this season. Clint Capella is injured. He just got Eric Gordon back. I mean, he's pretty much been a one-man wrecking crew. I know a lot of people saying he's getting up a lot of shots. I don't care. That dude is not only producing stats for himself, in the win column, he has been producing, for the most part, for the Houston Rockets. And I'm going to be honest with you. We got to kind of recategorize Chris Paul. Chris Paul had made the All-Star team the last couple years. I don't even know if Chris Paul is an All-Star anymore. So even when Chris Paul and Clint Capella come back, it's fair to say James Harden is technically the only All-Star on that Houston Rockets team. And heck, they're shooting right up the standings right now. Congratulations to James Harden. Again, with the fan vote, he was not in the backcourt. Actually, Derrick Rose had the fan vote for Western Conference starter. But when the media and players get involved again, they cleaned that up. And James Harden is your starting 2 guard at that spot. So let's go back to the forwards. I already told you LeBron James is the captain of the team. But we had a little bit of controversy. Now, I got 9 out of the 10 spots right in my NBA All-Star predictions. I missed one. We're going to get to that in a second. So one of the forwards that's going to start for the Western Conference will be Paul George of the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's leading the league in steals. He's averaging over 24, 25 points a game. He's having a great year. Every time I watch the OKC Thunder play, I know Russell Westbrook is averaging another triple-double, but can I be honest with you? My eyes tell me that Paul George is their best player. My eyes tell me that he's their best closer. And my eyes tell me that he's their best defender. Overall, I just think he's a better player this year than Russell Westbrook. I think the OKC Thunder team, they're better when Paul George is leading them. Russell Westbrook's still an intricate part to that team, but I just think when Paul George steps up, I want the ball in his hands late games, not Russell Westbrook taking a 30-foot three-pointer. Congratulations to Paul George. This is well-deserved in my opinion. He's going to be your starting forward A lot of people had concerns when he got traded to OKC from Indiana. You know, a lot of people were like, dang, he might not ever make the All-Star team again in such a competitive Western Conference. Not only is he making the All-Star team in the West, but he will be an All-Star game starter for the Western Conference for the first time. Congratulations to PG-13. Now, that leaves one spot, and we got two names. Who's going to get this spot? I want to congratulate both these guys on a great season. Anthony Davis, he did not get that fifth spot. That spot is going to Golden State Warriors forward Kevin Durant. This is the one spot that I got wrong. I got this one wrong. I picked Anthony Davis over Kevin Durant because Anthony Davis is doing it with a lot less. Again, the Pelicans are not close to making the playoffs. They're bad. Anthony Davis is actually out of the lineup right now. And Kevin Durant is having another good year. I just, you know, with the Warriors, to me, they get theirs on the back end. In my opinion, you know, Kevin Durant will win finals MVPs. He's winning championships right now. If y'all load y'all team up with all-stars, to me, y'all kind of take a seat back with the individual accolades, and Steph Curry is having a better season than Kevin Durant, in my opinion, overall. So I gave Steph Curry the edge, and I would have just kept it at one Warrior in the starting lineup, and then KD would have made the All-Star game as a reserve for me. He would have been my first reserve selection. But, you know, players got a lot of respect for Kevin Durant's game. Media got a lot of respect for Kevin Durant's game. They voted him in. So I'm not mad at that. Anthony Davis will have to be voted in as a reserve, and he will get in, you know. But, yeah, Kevin Durant's going to get that last spot. That's the only one I got wrong, and I should have known better. I should have known that the players or the media were going to get Kevin Durant. Probably the players voted him in. Yeah, I would have gave it to Anthony Davis. He's having another phenomenal season. He's top 3, top 4 in scoring, right? And he's great on the boards, and he's great on the defensive side of the ball as well. I would have gave it to Anthony Davis. I'm not mad at Kevin Durant getting that spot. It would have been a shot at Kevin Durant's brand. He's claiming to be the best basketball player in the world. Had he not even made the All-Star game as a starter, I definitely think that would have been a shot at his brand. Remember, all these picks are going to be televised this year. Giannis and LeBron, the captains of the East and West respectfully, they're going to go on TV and make their picks, so that should be fun. I think LeBron's coming back from injury Sunday. You don't want to injure guy picking other guys. Like, yo, get back on the court first before you do all that. So we believe LeBron will be back this weekend, and the draft is happening in the next couple weeks as well. The reserves are going to be announced soon as well on TNT. So I want to have some fun with it, all right? We got the All-Star starters out of the way. I want to give y'all my predictions on the reserves. What are the other 7 guys who are going to fill those spots for the NBA All-Star Game 2019 in Charlotte, North Carolina? Here are my 7 guys, and I'll even give y'all some snubs. So, in the Eastern Conference, I'm going to give Chris Middleton a spot. Milwaukee's the #1 team in the Eastern Conference. He's the best shooter on their team. Sometimes he makes a lot of late game plays. Giannis is still growing in that department. I'm going to give Chris Middleton that spot. The Milwaukee Bucks deserve 2 guys. They got the best record in the league. They deserve 2 guys. It's as simple as that. I'm giving him the nod. The next guy on that list, Indiana Pacers guard Victor Oladipo, to me is an all-star game caliber player. Unfortunately, Victor Oladipo went down with an injury a couple nights ago, so he won't be available. He's actually out for the season with a torn tendon, I believe. I hate that for him in his knee. So he's done for the year, so we're going to have to get a replacement for him. But yeah, Victor Oladipo would have definitely been gracing that game. His Indiana Pacers team is a top 4 seed in the East right now. They're over Boston, so he definitely would have been in the game. Third on my list, I'm going to give Ben Simmons his first All-Star game nod. He felt like he got snubbed last year. He'll be in the game this year. Ben Simmons definitely deserves to be an All-Star game reserve. He's definitely an All-Star this year, in my opinion. He can quietly light up a stat sheet. I would like for him to be a little more impactful. Sometimes he kind of goes away offensively. We all know Ben Simmons needs to work on his jumper. But even then, that dude somehow, some way finds a way to get to the rim and score and facilitate for others. You know he can't shoot, but you still can't stop him from making the right play a lot of times. Just needs to work on that jumper. Congratulations to Ben Simmons. I believe he will be getting an All-Star game nod this year. Next on my list, I want to reward the Brooklyn Nets. They're 6th in the Eastern Conference right now, if I'm not mistaken. Brooklyn in the house. What up? Shout out to the Barclays Center. They're going to get an All-Star this year. D'Angelo Russell quietly has been balling his behind off ever since he got traded from the Lakers to Brooklyn. Had a couple injury scares, but he's healthy now. Brooklyn deserves a guy in that All-Star game. They have surprised a lot of people out there. I think they've even surprised their ownership. I think their ownership was looking forward to one more year of tank because the Nets finally got their draft picks coming up this summer in the NBA draft. You know, the owner's like, okay, we had to give away our draft picks to the Boston Celtics the last few years. Now we can get a top 5 pick and maybe get Zion, but they're doing too good. Their record's too good to have a bad pick. Salute to D'Angelo Russell. He's leading that pack. Next on my list, I'm going to give this one to Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin of the Detroit Pistons. Detroit kind of disappointed me right now. Like on the outside cup of that playoffs, I thought they'd be a little better than what they are. I had them around 5 or 6. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond. Drummond's been hurt a little bit. I just think there's enough talent around Blake Griffin for him to be able to propel that team not only into the playoffs, but maybe a 5 or 6 seed with the 4 seed potential, right? Like, I'm looking at Blake a little funny now. The Clippers, you know, they never got to expectations, in my opinion. He was injured for a couple of those playoff runs with the Clippers, and now I'm looking at the Pistons. I'm starting to question, like, yo, Blake, to be an all-star, you got to have that expectation on your back night in, night out, and it looks like this team ain't doing great. I'm just being honest. I just think the Pistons should be a little better than what they are now. So I got Blake in the lineup, though. I'll give him that nod. Bradley Beal. Man, ever since John Wall went down, Bradley Beal has been playing some phenomenal basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the facts. The Washington Wizards are better without Bradley Beal. Congrats to Bradley Beal. He's got his team closing in on making a run at a playoff spot. If you seen where they were at like a couple months ago, this wasn't even a consideration. They were talking about blowing the entire team up. They didn't blow it up. John Wall got hurt, and now it looks like the Washington Wizards have a chance to make the playoffs, and that's because Bradley Beal swung over the point guard, and he's playing some great ball. Congrats to him. He'll be in the game. And last but not least, I got Kyle Lowry, so I'm going to give the Raptors 2 as well. They've been competing with Milwaukee for that top spot in the East and the NBA pretty much most of this season. They're great. I'm going to give him the nod. You know, he's been injured a little bit. I'm going to give him the nod, though. He's second in the NBA in assists and at 9.4. I'm going to give him the nod because Kawhi's missed a nice amount of time. He's missed a significant amount of time for his team, and they don't fall off without Kawhi Leonard in that lineup. Kyle Lowry can lead that team to a win. Matter of fact, I think they beat Golden State in Golden State about a month ago. No Kawhi Leonard in the lineup. That's pretty damn impressive to go into that Oracle Arena and win. I'm going to give Kyle Lowry that credit that he deserves. And he deserves, he's averaging like 14 points and 9.4 assists. Outside of Russell Westbrook, he's been the top assist guy in the league. Give that man some credit. His team is good, borderline great. This, you know, usually I have Kyle Lowry out the game. I never consider him an all-star. But to me this year, he showed me that he should be an all-star this year. You know, I'm going to give Kyle Lowry some credit. Now with the snubs. I don't know how much Orlando Magic basketball you guys watch, but Nikola Vucevic has been putting on a show this year. And with Victor Oladipo going down with an injury, again, out for the season, he's going to get in the game. Vucevic of the Magic is averaging 20 and 12. He's a free agent this year. Now, the Magic are bad. Again, they're always bad. But Vucevic has been doing his part. 20 and 12? That's pretty darn good. I don't care who you are. Top 10 in rebounding? Man, I like what Vucevic's doing. And he can space the court and shoot that 3 ball. Magic are bad, but Vucevic is really, really good. Another snub for me. I don't got Jimmy Butler in the game. I just, you know, he was missing games. He was sitting out when he was in the West. I didn't like that. He got traded to the East. He's had some struggles. He had a couple nice late game shots, but not enough games for me. Not enough great performances for me. A lot of time that Philly team looks better when Jimmy's on the bench for now. Hopefully that changes. Just not enough time for me. If somebody else got injured in the East, I guess he'd be the next call up. But yeah, for Jimmy B, not this year. And y'all know last year, by the way, Jimmy Butler was an all-star. And then it was on the West Coast in Los Angeles. And reportedly, he got too drunk to play in the game. I ain't, come on, man. That game is for the fans. You know, what about the fan from Minnesota that flew all the way to LA last year, you know, to watch you play Jimmy Butler and, you know, got the Jimmy Butler jersey on. That ticket was, I'm sure, it's super expensive. And you didn't even play because you drunk the night before. Like, nah, he ain't an all-star to me. Really good player, but just not an all-star to me. I don't like how he treats people around him. I ain't feeling that. Another controversial topic is going to be the Boston Celtics. They're 5th in the Eastern Conference, and the question is going to be, do they deserve a second guy? In years past, we've seen Al Horford get in the game. Gordon Hayward, when he was in Utah, he got in the game. No, I'm not seeing it. As a matter of fact, if I had to give somebody on that Boston Celtics team that spot, it would be Marcus Morris. I'm not going to do that, but he's been their second most consistent player this year. Not Tatum, not Brown, not Smart. No, it's been Marcus Morris, and he doesn't strike me as an all-star starter, or all-star reserve. He doesn't strike me as that type of player. So I'm not going to give the Celtics a second guy. They'll just have Kyrie in the game, and that'll be it. So let's swing over to the Western Conference reserves. Whew, I told y'all already Anthony Davis is going to be the first call. He's going to get in. He's going to be the first guy that gets the call. He's in. He'll be a reserve. He's leading that Pelicans team. He's great. The Pelicans are just bad. Period. They can't bring in a second star. I don't know what else you want me to say. They had DeMarcus Cousins. They gave up on him. They even had Rondo. It looks like they gave up on him. And those guys look like they're going to be utilized by the Warriors and Lakers respectfully down the stretch of this season. Both of those guys have been injured. They're back now. And the Pelicans look like they could have used both of them right now. They're one of the worst teams in the Western Conference. Yeah, Anthony Davis is definitely going to get that call. Next up for me, Nikolai Jokic. So we had Nikolai on the Eastern Conference getting snubbed for now. Now we got Nikolai Jokic of the Denver Nuggets making the game as a reserve. Not the trendiest of games to watch. He plays down low, back to the basket a lot of the game. People, Denver for the most of this season was #1 in the West. Now they're #2. Golden State's got hot. Look, there's not a second guy on that Denver Nuggets team that you would consider for that All-Star game. It's been Jokic. He's averaging a double-double. He's a couple assists away from averaging a triple-double at the center position. Give that man his credit. He's been balling for that team all year. He doesn't talk. He doesn't complain. He just goes out and plays the game of basketball at an elite level. He's got shooting all around him. They got good floor spacing. Give Mike Malone some credit. I like what Denver's got going, man. And Nikolai Jokic will definitely be an all-star this year. Next on my list, I got to give that call to Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers, who somehow, some way have found themselves competing for that 4th or 5th seed in the Western Conference. I didn't like how the Portland Trailblazers ended their year last year, getting swept by New Orleans. Nah, that wasn't it. I get it. It was a bad matchup, but Chief, dang, you an all-star. You got to be better than that. You say you one of the most slept-on guys in the NBA. I listen to your music, sir. Chief, that wasn't it. That's what y'all did in the playoffs. All-stars can't get swept when they got the better team, arguably. Like, I don't know about that one, Dame. He'll get in. He's an all-star this year. He plays night in, night out. Top 5, top 7 in the NBA scoring. Dame's an all-star. He'll get the call. Congrats to Damian Lillard. Next up, Russell Westbrook. You know, I don't know if you guys noticed or not. He's averaging a triple-double again. This will be the 3rd year in a row that he averages a triple-double. Phenomenal player. Missed the first few games with an injury. Got back. He's not shooting the ball well this season. It's actually pretty dreadful. He's about 64% from the free throw line this year. That's how bad it is. He's like 20% from the three-point line, but he's even bad from the free throw line this year. I don't know what it is mentally with him. I just think, you know, with him being injured, he didn't have time to zone in this summer like he has in years past. Also had twins this summer as well. Congratulations to him. I think when Russ gets an off season to fix his shot, I think he'll be much better. But you average a triple-double. You gotta get the call, right? You're averaging a triple-double. I don't care what you're shooting from the field. He's averaging a triple-double. I'm gonna let him in the game. Russ will get the call. The Thunder deserve 2 guys. I'm fine with that. Next up, San Antonio Spurs. Here's their first guy making the game. I'm gonna go with LaMarcus Aldridge. All right, that one's gonna be one we talk about a little bit in a second. LaMarcus Aldridge, to me, more consistent than DeMar DeRozan. Back to the basket guy. He's money. He can get you 20 and 10 any given night. I like LaMarcus Aldridge a lot. He had a 50-point night a couple weeks back against the Thunder. That dude, man, he's still money for mid-range. He's finally got acclimated to Pop's system. Yeah, be on the lookout for the Spurs second half of the season. You don't want to play them in the playoffs, bro. If they're healthy, you don't want to play them in the playoffs. Next up on my list, I'm going to roll with Donovan Mitchell. I believe the Utah Jazz are like 7th in the West. They've been rolling as of late. They were pretty bad to start the season. It's either between Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert. I tend to lean toward the perimeter guys. They usually do more. I'm going to give Donovan Mitchell the nod. I think he deserves to be in the game. The 2nd in Rookie of the Year voting last year. I'm rolling with Donovan Mitchell. I think he deserves to be in the game. I definitely think his Utah team has turned around for the better. Again, you would have asked me this 3 weeks ago, I wouldn't have put any Utah Jazz in. But Donovan Mitchell and company have turned that thing around. And they're now primed to make a second half push this season. And last but not least for me, I know I'm going to get some pushback for this. I know that the Mavs are like 22-26. They're under 500. I'm going to give Luka Doncic the spot. At the end of the day, this game is about fun for the fans, right? It's still about putting on the best show for the fans. And this guy, I don't care what y'all say, he's one of the 24 most exciting players in the NBA right now. Period. All right, he's exciting as hell to watch. He's a rookie. He's putting on a show. That Mavericks team has probably won a few more games than they should have. Dirk is a shell of himself. DeAndre Jordan can't make a shot outside of 6 feet to save his life. Freaking Dennis Smith Jr. been sitting out games as of late. It's pretty much been Luka Doncic or else. JJ Barea, he's out for the season. Now, give this man his credit. I'm rolling with Luka Doncic as the last spot to get in the game. Again, the coaches vote all the reserves in, so it's going to be on the coaches. We'll see how they grade Luka. They might kind of give him the Hall of Fame treatment and not let him in on his first year since he is a rookie, and might wait till next year to let him into the game, and they might reward a second San Antonio Spurs or Klay Thompson. But I'm rolling with Luka Doncic. Now, let's get to my snubs. The most pushback I'm going to get is that I don't have Klay Thompson in the game. I know he just knocked down 10 straight threes in Los Angeles, and he had like 60 earlier against the Chicago Bulls. I don't have Klay Thompson on my team, man. Listen, he can light you up any given night. His shooting ability is phenomenal. If he were on a different team, Klay Thompson would be an NBA All-Star. He would be in the game, at least, maybe even a starter, right? But because he plays behind Steph and Kevin Durant, he gets so many easy looks night in and night out. I'm sorry, bro. I got to reward the league. I got to reward guys who don't have the luxury of playing with 3, now 4 All-Stars on the court. You're playing with 2 of the 3 best players in the game. I'm sorry, Klay. For him to make the game, to me, because I didn't have him as a guy last year. I didn't have him and Draymond got in. I didn't have that last year. Draymond for sure is not going to get in this year. But I didn't have Klay last year, and I don't got him this year. I'm sorry. I'm rewarding guys who are doing it with much less. Yes, the Warriors have the best record in the West, but they also have the most talent in NBA history. I gave Steph and KD spots. I'm not giving them a third guy this year. They've been impressive as of late, so if Klay gets in, it has to be over the last 2 to 3 weeks if they've been on his winning streak. But to me, I don't have him as an all-star star this year. I'd rather roll with other guys. There are other guys doing great things in this league that should be rewarded. Let's watch the basketball and see how much you have on your shoulders night in and night out. You can't be an all-star if a lot of nights we don't even call your name. There are a lot of nights where Klay Thompson can go 3 for 12 from the field. We don't even talk about it. Score his 11 points, and the Warriors win by 20. How is that an all-star? What about that is an all-star to you? I'm just asking questions. Now, some of my other snubs. This one was a big one for me. DeMar DeRozan, man. I didn't know what to do with DeMar DeRozan. I don't think the Spurs, they're 6th in the West right now. I don't think they deserve 2 guys. You know, I got respect for DeMar DeRozan, but I didn't think the Spurs deserve 2 guys. If they got 2 all-stars, then they should be higher than 6th. And I think they're going to stay around that spot. I don't think that they should get 2 guys. Sorry. Again, if they're going to get 2 guys, they got to be better than that. And I rolled with LaMarcus Aldridge earlier. Sorry, DeMar. I'm rolling with LaMarcus Aldridge. Y'all get 1 spot now, and yeah, I went with someone else. Also, Tobias Harris. That's my Tennessee Volunteer. That's my brethren. So that hurt me, right? That hurt me not to put him in the game. But a lot of times with the Clippers, they kind of do it by committee. I know Tobias is leading them in scoring this year, and Lou Williams has missed some time this year. He's not the 6th man of the year as of right now, in my opinion. But to me, Tobias Harris, you know, he's been the leader of that team, but a lot of nights they can go with another closer. A lot of nights, just depending on who has the hot hand, is who closes the game. And the Clippers are falling. They fell to like 8th in the West. They were hot early. At one point, they were the #1 team in the West. None of us thought that would stay like that. They fell back. That team has came back to reality. And maybe next year, Tobias, I just, not right now. You know, if they get Kawhi on their team, then maybe we give them some more looks if they're #1 or #2 in the West next year. Unfortunately, Tobias didn't make the cut for me this year. Last but not least, my last snub is Karl Anthony Towns. Minnesota's interesting. They're starting to get it together. They had that whole Jimmy Butler debacle to start the year. Karl Anthony Towns is averaging a double-double. A lot of times for me, though, with Cat, he doesn't step up and be the leader. They're actually relying on Derrick Rose down the stretch a lot. I'm not mad at that, but to me, in my opinion, a lot of times Cat can stuff a stat sheet. We don't even recognize he's got 26 points this game. That's not an all-star to me. We're supposed to fill your baskets as an all-star. Too quiet for me right now. I question, does he have the personality to be an all-star in this league and lead a team in this league? I just question that. I'd rather roll with some of the other guys that's on my list over Karl-Anthony Towns. Whew, I am tired. I just went through the Eastern Conference and Western Conference All-Star starters, and I even gave you my predictions for the reserves. They'll be announced in the next couple weeks, and we're going to have some fun with this game against Charlotte, North Carolina. If you watched this video all the way through, thank you so much. I wish I had a gift card or something to give out. I gave out all my gift cards. Thank y'all so much for the time, love, support. Again, NBA All-Star Game is in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's down south. Your boy will be there for his first All-Star Game event, covering a couple of events in the Charlotte area. I love Charlotte, and I can't wait for the festivities. See you there if you're going. Whew, I am tired, man. I've been talking, what was that, 40 minutes? Sheesh. I'm out.